जोरदार तालियां एक बार।
The most important program we have mentioned in the manifesto is that the country as well as the state of Arunachal Pradesh is not an exception to the unemployment issues which are haunting the youth of the state. So the Congress party, if voted to power, has brought out in its manifesto that an educated employment assurance allowance, details you'll get in the manifesto, at an amount of 5,000 rupees per month to all those graduates, whether technical or non-technical, would be given the impetus, and that would be routed through a task force through the Employment Exchange Department. This is because since for the last 5 years, this state has been panicked. This state has suffered. We have seen the trauma and reaction of the mood of the youths. Youths are angry. Youths are becoming arrogant because of want of employment opportunities. One important line which we would like to draw is that earlier even our Congress government, when voted to power, had promised that a BPL family, all BPL holders would be given, they had been given rice at the rate of rupees 3 per kg. But this time, with the approval of Congress President, our manifesto committee has decided that a free rice means 100% subsidy to the BPL families for allocation of rice would be given. Not even a single pie would be levied against the BPL citizens, whether it is in the rural or whether it is in the urban belt. And this applies to all sections and cross-sections of people. In education sector, we have decided that all those who would like to carry on taking degrees and master degrees beyond the country would also be given incentive, one-time incentive of 20 lakh rupees. In some areas, you will not find the mention of the figure, but we are highlighting that a consolidated 20 lakh rupees would be provided as one-time grant to those who pursue higher studies in foreign dignified universities outside India. Our Congress government, headed by Nabam Tukiji, had started a unique program in the country. It was called Chief Minister's Universal Health Insurance Scheme. The same scheme we are going to provide to the citizens if voted to power, and the minimum amount would be rupees 5 lakhs per family. The INC party would carry on promoting peace and tranquility in the region. We have some of our districts which are affected by extremist organizations and their movements. We would try to pursue a policy of peaceful resolution of all outstanding insurgency problems in the Northeast. A bonus of peace and oblique branch would be given to those extremist organizations for dialogue and discussion across the table. Suitable schemes for capacity building, vocational training, grants and allowances will be provided to the educated unemployed youth based on local resources and availability of funds. Regarding power generation, we shall review the existing power policy after taking into confidence of all stakeholders. State government, as in the past, would not be arbitrarily doing anything. Such resultant movements are taking place in Tawang and other parts of the state. So the local leaders and indigenous population would be the owners, would be the only instrument which will promote the policy, power policy of our state. Their land, their property, everything will be assessed before we take any decision if voted to power. Though there has been a lot of promises for linking Tawang with the railway network, but practically nothing has happened. Linking of Tawang by railway network will be expedited if Congress at the center and state voted to power. Railway connectivity to Pasighat, Roing, Teju, Parsuram Kund, Chokam, Namsai, linking Rupai will be our priority. Multi-level parking facility at Itanagar and Nahalagan will be put in place to ease traffic and public inconveniences. Roads and flyovers would be the main thrust area in the capital complex. Air connectivity to important district headquarters by helicopters will be established. The delayed project of the international airport at Itanagar will be completed at the earliest. For your information, this particular project is not yet sanctioned. In spite of the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone at Indira Gandhi Park recently, the only thing that state government has done is few amounts allocated from the state fund for compensation of land, but the project has not been sanctioned. In anticipation of the projects and even land compensation being sanctioned, the foundation stone has been laid. So Congress is the only party which will expedite this project, and the moment we are voted to power at the center and the state government, this will be our top priority. Construction of community halls at state capital in all district headquarters for performing marriages and community events for all sections of the people would be made available. Upgradation and establishment of festival grounds in all district headquarters for all sections of tribal communities. Burial and cremation grounds at all district headquarters, particularly in the state capital, would be our priority. Financial assistance to NGOs, private, women, self-help group engaged in imparting quality education, vocational training, and looking after marginalized section of the society, running orphanages, etc., would be the trust area, and grants would be provided. Financial assistance for community festival of all tribal communities would be our prime area. The age-old pension would be doubled. Increase of honorarium of head GB and GBs to rupees 5,000 and rupees 3,000 respectively. The head GB would be given to 5,000. It is only 2,500 now. And the head GB are given 2,000 now. So they would be given 3,000. Separate indoor facilities for senior citizens of 65 years and above in district hospital would be our prime target. Necessary labor welfare measures will be taken Keeping in mind the ever-increasing prices of essential commodities, labor wages will be increased from time to time, and particularly on the basis of Supreme Court's directive, 18,000 minimum wages would be provided if voted to power. We would be implementing all recommendations of Central Seventh Pay Commission. Not even a single clause of the Commission would be diverted. We will do in toto, which otherwise the BJP party has always been very arrogant on this issue against the employees. We would drastically review the functioning of Arunachal Pradesh Public Service Commission to make suitable structural changes to ensure transparency and efficient discharge of its functioning in line with Union Public Service Commission. We would promise to hold early election immediately after the assembly and general elections are over. Elections of panchayat and municipalities to re-establish local self-government at grassroots levels, thereby fulfilling the dream of late Rajiv Gandhi, democracy in the grassroots. We would ensure proper and timely grants of funds so that prestigious educational institutions like NERIST, NIT, and RGU no more suffers inadequacy of funds and restore their smooth and effective functioning. The NIT is suffering since for the last 5 years, the moment BJP government came to power, not even a single penny for construction of the hostel of all faculty. This one has coming to a complete halt. So we would, the moment we are voted to power at the center and state, we would ensure that funds flow to this premier institute so that each and every one from UPI is shifted back to the main campus. We would like to review recently enacted Land Act to remove the financial burden on the landowners to the desired extent. In absence of industry and paucity of cultivable land, people hardly get any opportunity to improve their economic condition. They look either for government job or petty contract. To accommodate small contractors, all works and supplies to a limit of rupees 50 lakhs will be awarded without tendering, but with conditions which ensure genuine persons get the work order in their respective localities. Earlier, when we were in UT, even after statehood also, work order system has been, if properly managed, has been a very fast-track type of contract by those local citizens. But after that, the entire big schemes and even smaller schemes has gone for, very long process of tendering. Therefore, if we are voted power back in the state, we would ensure that any amount below 50 lakhs would be, the priority would be given to the local contractors. To take appropriate action to make Twin Capital Town garbage free, every resident of the Twin Capital Town of Itanagar, Nahalagam, is concerned about ever-increasing menace of garbage in absence of an effective garbage disposal system. So this will also be one of our prime objectives. We would also put a new sports policy in place to identify sporting talents at young age and train them for participation at national and international level at government cost. We had announced, Congress government had announced 10% reservation for the sports men and women. So much more than on top of it, we are going to polish a very, proper policy to be drawn to ensure that our youths are drawn in national and international level. Creation of state-of-art multi-purpose indoor and outdoor stadiums at selected district headquarters and subdivision would be our priority. Arunachal, with its enchanting natural beauty has over the years become a favored tourist destination, but absence of proper infrastructure is the main hindrance in realizing its full potential. Arunachal has all the ingredients for making it a most favored destination for adventure, cultural, and ecotourism. We shall revisit tourism policy of the state to review and make it conducive for promotion of that kind of tourism which promotes job creation and marketing of local handicrafts and endemic products. Grant in aid will be provided for tourism-related activities, including NGOs. Arunachal Pradesh has a clean, unpolluted environment, and therefore it is pragmatic to promote the kind of industries that are based on local produce as its raw materials and least polluting. Government will provide capital subsidy for establishment of such small and medium industry units, which will be called special economic zones. We shall provide adequate funding for creation of tribal museum at all district headquarters. We shall also constitute a tribal advisory council at state level with representative of all major tribes of Arunachal Pradesh for codification of tribal laws and preservation of tribal culture. We shall also move towards improving and promoting traditional handicrafts, save traditional technology which is on the verge of extension. Technology mission to involve indigenous experts to improve upon traditional technical know-how like making of traditional rope bridges would be our prime area. The small and marginal farmers are still trapped in the traditional low-input agricultural practices, despite fertile land and suitable climatic factors. Low productivity of land in the absence of irrigation and terracing of land, practice of extensive jhum cultivation in some parts of the state, absence of credit facility and market for the produce, poor transport network linking villages are main stumble block in harnessing agri-horticulture potential of the land. Besides, farmers, most of them having small holdings, do not have enough income to invest in their land for upgrading and adopting new farming techniques which would have resulted in higher income. Congress, if voted to power, will put in place a system in consultation with clan community to expand the credit facility through self-help group and allowing the clan community to stand as the guarantor of loan. We shall also provide subsidized agriculture and horticulture inputs to small and marginal farmers to ensure that farming becomes a profitable occupation. Put emphasis on providing appropriate incentives for cultivation of medicinal plants and marketing networks for the produce. Provide transport subsidy for marketing of produce of small and marginal farmers in remote areas, particularly on horticulture produce like pineapple, then we have oranges, and then cardamom, large cardamom. We shall put in place a system for providing minimum support price to horticulture produce. It exactly means that if voted to power, we would like for a multi-task force to ensure that large cardamom till 2013, the rate per kg used to be 1,300 to 1,500 per kg. But the moment BJP government came at the center, the price per kg of large cardamom in Arunachal has gone down to 350. So we are trying to streamline a multi-task force to ensure that the minimum price for a cardamom per kg, if government takes, would be not less than 1,000 per kg.